Welcome back to Parent Squad. As parents, we want to encourage our kids to find their passions, whether it's sports, art, music, or something else. And today we're going to talk about how to create music at home with items that you likely have around the house. So here to help us do that is Allison Fojo, and she's a middle school music teacher at Indiana Gateway Digital Academy. Allison, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And let me just say, on behalf of all parents, thank you for the work you're doing with our kids. It's so necessary. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So let's start with why music education is just so important in the first place.
Yeah, I think music education is important because it instills creativity in our children and kind of gives them an outlet to create everything. It works on, all kinds of skills. We learn math, we learn to read, writing. It's just a good outlet for all those other subjects that we have in school.
And shaping young minds. They're saying if you want a scholar, really at anything, if they're doing, if you're trying to get an NBA player and they're doing basketball, or if you're trying to encourage your kid to be a doctor, they're saying music is certainly the way. So this is awesome. But we know not everyone has access to instruments and formal training a lot of times. That's why we're doing this segment. It's so cool because a lot of these things we actually have at our home. Yeah, so let's get to it. What are some items that we should be keeping an eye out in our house before we throw them away?
Yeah, definitely. Boxes, we all shop Amazon and have things sent to our houses. So we all have these boxes laying around. I know I have plenty, and that's what I've created with all of these instruments. Toilet paper tubes, paper towel tubes, popsicle sticks. Easter just came up, so the Easter eggs that you may have are ones that were on sale. Glasses.
Okay. Okay, like now that's just glass and water. I know there's some people who are like, I'm not the arts and crafts mom.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the arts and crafts mom for this. So let's look at some of the things that you have. I see there's a guitar.
Yes.
From this shoebox.
Yes, the shoebox guitar. It may not sound the greatest, but it's still, you're working on motor skills as you're holding the guitar. If you don't have a toilet paper
hold
tube.
it?
Oh yeah.
Can I play with it?
You can, absolutely.
I actually did go buy a guitar in my 20s, and the fact that you have to work both hands and do different motions is so difficult. So when you said motor skills, that really stood out to me.
Yeah.
And I see you have different size bands, so we get different sounds. Oh, we got to tune this.
I know we do. We do.
Okay, this is awesome, and what a cool activity for the kids to make. And then be able to design the outside of the box. Everybody has a shoebox at home.
I hope so.
Yes, well, yes, most of us. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, what else are some other things that we have here?
I have two different types of maracas or shakers. One with a handle, and then just our little egg guy. That's supposed to be me.
Okay, everyone, see egg guy. I'll hold egg guy.
And then this.
Who said it was you?
I did.
Oh, okay. I was like, did one of the kids draw this?
No, I was like,
because no one asked you.
No one did. I gave it some eyelashes, so hopefully it looks like me.
Well, I know I have these plastic eggs in my house as we speak, left over from Easter. So how did you make this?
So I have rice in that one, and it doesn't have to be just rice. It can be whatever small materials that you have at home. I know like bracelet making is big, so I know a lot of people may have beads.
Okay.
You can use dry beans.
I do have some dry beans actually, because I was just thinking about my 2-year-old trying to open this and get rice everywhere, but this is supposed to be a maraca.
Yeah. Okay. Even if you have like Legos at home, you could put Legos in there. Anything that is small and will hit the sides to make the noise.
Can you tell I'm trained? She's like, I'm the teacher, stop. No, but this is awesome. I mean, people think, okay, you're just shaking something. We know kids are, but you just said we're talking about math. We're talking about reading the music. We're talking about rhythm and beat. I mean, you tell us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is one of my favorite instruments to make because it is so simple and it's so easy to use, and it helps you keep a steady beat. It helps you just to have fun with your family with these. I don't know how many times I've just been in a store somewhere and there's music playing and I see kids just like either clapping or just dancing. Adding this is just a fun element to it. So I think these are great. And there are so many YouTube videos. If you just type in like shaker, egg shaker music, it'll come up with all different things to help younger minds to understand rhythm and beat and things like that while making music.
And I'm thinking about the parent who says they are not the arts and crafts person. I'm not a music person. I just like to pretend that I am. And so I can get a lesson or something from YouTube or try to incorporate this. And now you have a whole Saturday afternoon plan, which I think is really cool. Okay, a couple other things that you want to show us here today.
The water glass xylophone. This is another.
Do you need me and my musical expertise?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna lightly tap the glasses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
all different sounds, people.
And you can kind of talk about like how the more water is in the glass, the lower the sound.
And the different kinds of glasses.
And the different kinds of glasses. And for the kids that I teach online.
Okay, I'll stop.
You're really getting into it. I loved it. One of the things I say to make it more creative, if you're artsy, is just add different watercolor, like water
that's fun.
color to it. Yeah.
That's really, really fun.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this with these straws? What instrument is it?
So this is like a flute.
Okay, you play it.
I will play it, yes. And the bigger the straws, the better the sound quality is. But again, this is all I had at home. So
no, that's why we're doing this. All you have at home. Okay, is it going to sound like music, or is
it will?
Gonna be... Oh,
it will.
Okay,
it'll have different pitches. They're just light.
Okay, listen. Okay. That's why she's the music teacher. I do hear it.
Yeah.
I do hear it. We kind of chuckle, but kids will go crazy over something like this. And I honestly didn't think the length of the straw would determine the pitch or the tone.
Yeah.
That's not what I thought. That's awesome.
Right.
That's awesome. Okay. I already know what this is. I already know what this bucket is. I love that you decorated it too, because that's at least 30 minutes right there, depending on what kind of kid you have.
Yeah.
But this is our drum. We all have a bucket or something.
We all have something.
I'm thinking about the butter tube or the tub, the butter tube, the butter tub. We all have something that you could beat on. Because even our guitar, I'm like, oh, wait, that could be a drum too if you need it to be.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how does this translate to students who might want to pursue music?
Yeah. Again, we hopefully all listen to music all the time. And I think even just being able to tap or clap or do something with this rhythmically is going to help us as we're listening to the music to like feel the rhythm, feel the beat. And it's definitely like a starter instrument. So if you have a kid that's into guitar and they want to pursue guitar, they could always make their instrument and figure out, even watch, again, YouTube videos to see, okay, so how am I supposed to hold this? Where are my hands supposed to go? What am I supposed to do?
Love it.
Yeah, and then they all are part of a different family of instruments, which is something that we talk about, how obviously this is a string instrument, our maracas, our percussion. There you go. Our panpipe flute or our straw flute is our wind instrument. Again, this is also percussion. It's just a pitched percussion.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, are we making something really quick before we go? Okay, let's do it.
Yes. So we're going to make one of these.
Okay.
The first thing that we should do is probably take out the tissues in the tissue box.
Because we're not wasting.
We're not wasting. We're going to use the tissues. And I created holes in these ones, so I'm going to just take this part off.
Okay.
And it's going to be our hole.
Suffice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I love your nails. They're really cute.
Thank you. Easter colors.
Yes. Okay, as you do that, we need our parents to help advocate for our children's music education.
Yeah.
And we know a lot of times with schools, that could be the first thing to go. So what do parents need to know, or how can we help ensure that these schools, that this education is in our schools?
Yeah. Really, word of mouth and talking about it and seeing if your kid has an interest in music, and just letting them take that class that we have. I definitely think that
I would not have taken it out the side, by the way.
You wouldn't have?
I would have tried to squeeze some authors, which
I
is
thought
why
about
we
it.
need music education people.
And I think it's very just a creative outlet. And I feel like every person that has taken music can remember what they did in that class. Like when I talk about, they're like, oh yeah, we did that. Oh, we did recorders. Oh, we talked about, the different instruments, the different families, things like that. I'm just gonna glue this shut.
Yeah, you go for it. Yeah, we certainly did recorders.
Yeah.
Yeah, prayers for our parents.
No,
on
but
that one.
really.
But it was necessary. What a good
Yes.
experience.
And that's, it's a really easy instrument to learn. Again, it works on your motor skills. It helps with breath control. And it's something that you can feel very accomplished after learning songs and completing those songs. And I just think really talking with people that are into music or going to see shows that involve music is a good way to advocate for music in general. And then just talking with the admin at your school or sending pictures of what's being done with instruments and other music things with those music teachers too.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. So that's gonna dry for a minute. We're gonna use this tube. We're gonna cut a hole roughly the size of this tube and then kind of place it in there. If you wanna hold that for me, I'll get a pen so that we can kind of trace around it.
This is a really thick paper towel roll. What kind of towels do you buy?
This is actually, I do a lot of cricket crafting.
Oh, okay.
So it's a cricket tube. It's a cricket tube.
What kind of towels do you have?
I know, I realized when I was making these instruments, I was like, I could definitely use those tubes. I could keep those tubes and use those for all sorts of things. Okay, I'm gonna carefully stab this.
Yeah, it's okay if it's not perfect.
Yeah, oh, that's not gonna work. What if I just cut like this? There we go. We'll make it work. You gotta do what you gotta do. And we can always hot glue it back together. And yeah, I always tell the kids that if they're using scissors or something or hot glue to make sure that they've got an adult with them in case it's, even if they are middle school, you still gotta be careful.
Did you ask your parent?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
Might be easier if I just kind of rip it.
It's okay.
Again, this is one of the harder instruments to make, but I think it's the most fun besides the egg shaker. I just think you can get really creative with some of these. So then I would like kind of just stick the tube in there, and then we're gonna glue around the edge to kind of keep it stable.
There we go. Okay, so you see she has her hot glue. Again, this is where the adults come in. But here is what we're going for right here. So we're gonna keep working on this one, but I wanted you all to see the final product. Allison, we certainly appreciate you being here, helping to get our kids ready for their music education, and of course, encouraging parents to support that. We place more info on Indiana Gateway Digital Academy at WTHR.com/ParentSquad. All right, we'll get to playing.
Yes.
Let's do it.